Hi, I'm Angelica Luce. I'm a paralegal here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can I just clarify your name again?
Sure, it's John.
Great. So we represent Donna in the car accident case. Can I get you anything before we start? Anything to drink or anything?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, so first I'm going to ask you your detailed version of what happened. Secondly, I'm going to ask you some more questions. And finally, I'll let you know our plan moving forward. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Great. So you witnessed a car accident involving a cyclist. Can you tell me about that, please?
Sure. I was just going for a run in the evening down at Stanley Park. That's one of my favorite places to go running. Basically, I was just, out there. I was probably out there for about 30 minutes, and I was getting a little tired, so I took a quick stop to look at the water. And I turned around and I noticed this lady kind of ride by on a bike. It's kind of a little annoying because she got a little close to me, almost knocked me over. But so I was just kind of standing there, and all of a sudden I heard this screeching sound. So I turned around and saw this car that just looked like it slammed on its brakes, but it wasn't soon enough because it ended up hitting that lady. So I ran over there and tried to help out the best I could. I know a little bit of first aid, so it's like, well, let's see if I can help out any way I can. She didn't seem to have any immediate injuries, so just called 911 and waited for the police and the ambulance to arrive. And yeah, that's all I kind of remember.
Great, thank you. So I have a few more questions for you. So how often do you go to the park?
I usually go for a run about once a day. It's my favorite place to go running. It's down at the park, so I go there usually in the evening once I'm done work. I quite like the cool breeze that comes in the evening. So.
Right. Would you say you know the park really well, all the roads and everything?
I know it pretty well. Only really the route that I take, which is about a mile and a half. So that's my favorite.
And can you just kind of describe the way the road was shaped, where the crosswalk and the car was?
I don't really remember there being a crosswalk where the bike was, but I do know there's a crosswalk about 50 feet ahead of where we were, because it's the one that I usually take for my run. Where it happened, there was a bend in the road. So.
What sort of bend in the road? How can you describe it, or maybe draw it even?
It's a pretty sharp bend. I'd say it's about 50 degrees.
50.
And it's on a hill, so it's quite sharp. You can't really see too well around the corner.
So you would say the car wouldn't be able to see around the bend?
I think it would be difficult if you were going at a higher speed.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the knowledge of the roads or the park around that area?
I do remember there not being very many bushes or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's kind of free by that part of the road.
Great. Is there anything else?
Not what I remember about the knowledge of the road, no.
Okay. So can you tell me what the weather was like on that day?
Well, it was unusually stormy. I remember I was feeling a little chillier than usual for that time of the year, and the waves were a little bigger when I stopped to go look at the water. And I did notice a little bit of a swirl of the clouds that were starting to come over the ocean. So yeah, it was a pretty not the nicest of days.
So it was darker.
It was dark.
Right. And what time of day approximately was it?
I was in the evening. I'd say mid-evening, around 6:30-ish.
Right. And had the sun gone down yet? It was not black.
It wasn't black yet. It was still like kind of peering through the clouds, but it was on its way. Like I said, there was a little bit of a storm, so it was darker than usual. So the clouds were covering the sun, but it wasn't pitch black by any means.
Do you have any other recollection of the weather? Anything else you want to add to describe the way it looked that day?
I don't think so. Not regarding the weather.
Okay. How fast would you say the car was going?
It was quite hard to tell how fast the car was going. I don't think it was really. Didn't seem to go too fast, but I wasn't really looking at the time because I was looking at the water, and then all I heard was the screeching of the tires. So I mean, it sounded like he was braking pretty hard, so he must have possibly seen the bike. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been braking. So I don't think he was going over the speed limit. Maybe around about 30 kilometers or so. I'd maybe estimate.
Right. Did you notice anything unusual about how the car was driving before?
I wasn't really looking that way, so I didn't notice anything about the car really. Um, I only saw it once it had already kind of started to brake, so
Right.
I didn't really notice it.
So did it seem like the cyclist came out of nowhere, or did you notice the cyclist before then?
Well, I did notice the cyclist before because it kind of nudged me on the way by, which was a little annoying. So that's how I kind of remember exactly what happened. I do remember that she was in full cycling gear, like a helmet, and she must have been like prepping for a race or something like that because she was going pretty fast.
Right, so she had a helmet on, and all the other...
Yeah, she had like knee pads and arm pads, and
Right.
she was wearing a cyclist shirt and shorts.
Do you remember anything else about the car right before it hit the cyclist?
I do remember. I'm pretty sure it was a BMW, the car that I saw. I don't think I can't think of anything specific about the car that really stood out, other than it being a higher end BMW. So I assume the guy has a fair bit of money.
Right. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add about the car?
I don't think so.
Okay, so thank you for all this information. Before we adjourn, is there anything at all you would like to add to what you've given?
I don't think so. I mean, she didn't seem to be in too much of any pain or anything like that, so I don't think there's anything any more that I can think of that I can add to it at this time.
Great, well thank you for coming in. What's going to happen is I'm going to give your statement to a lawyer. He's going to review it. If he has any questions, he'll give you a call. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for coming in.
No, thank you.
I'll walk you up.
Great.